Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to set up my budget for June. I have this Colourful & Co budget kit. It's the A6 budget kit size. I have a load of full boxes pulled out as well, and a load of washies. These three are simply gilded. This one is Creativity and Ink, and this one is a random shop one from like Hobbycraft or something. So yeah, that's what we are working with. Okay, so to start off, let's have a little look how May has gone. Spoiler, not very well. Let's zoom in a teeny bit. There we go. So, transaction log with any business transactions. Obviously, I bought my iPad and I bought that on my credit card to get the points. Monthlies just stayed like that. Here is the budget page. And I'm not going to go through this just yet. I'll go through it in a minute. But yeah, that's how that's looking. And weekly check-ins, we won't go through those, they're just for me. And actually, the 1st and 2nd of May aren't in this here, so let's flick back to the 1st and 2nd. So on the 1st, I paid my Patreon subscription, which was $20.96. The 2nd was a no-spend day. The 3rd, we bought some brewing supplies for £70, so half of that came out of Social's Fund money, half came out of Groceries, because it's to brew stuff we'll both drink. It was a bank holiday. The 4th, mortgage came out for, yeah, that much. I bought diesel for £56. We paid our pet plan, which is for like the cats. They get their vaccines included, they get their flea and wormer, they get 10% off appointments, etc. And a yearly checkup. We bought our big Sainsbury's order for £184.18. You're going to see a lot of groceries and it's bad. Then we paid our cleaner for the month for £180. Wednesday the 5th, one of us bought lunch out. I think it was probably me for £3. We paid our council tax, which is £241. Paid our energy bill, which is £108.52. We paid for our accommodation for a friend's wedding, which was £170. Paid our bank fee, which is £2, and I bought a book for Soch bought a book for £3. Sorry. 6th was our second no spend day of the month. And then 7th, I bought some stuff in a D-stash for £4.55. On the 8th, Soch bought some more brewing stuff for £31.37. We bought groceries for £37.85, and we bought a new bottle of CO2 and refilled our current bottle for £105. On the 9th, Soch bought some soil for gardening for £5.58, and we bought some groceries for £19.83. So that's that week. It was a very spend-heavy month, I'm going to tell you that now. On the 10th, we bought various bits and pieces for the house. I can't remember what. We've looked this up once since we wrote various and realised why we wrote various, because it's all like little bits for £82.95. Maybe I should check what that is. We went to Macca's for dinner for £12.41. Soch bought petrol for £65. On the 11th, we bought Soch a new car battery for £75.90. I paid my Headspace subscription for the year for Headspace. Bought somebody a gift for £30. So this, we bought bed sheets and stuff like that for the guest bedroom, Brita water filter things, wax melter and ice cube trays. It's just random stuff. Also paid Soch's phone bill for £11, and one of us again bought lunch out for £3.75. And then on the 12th we got Macca's again for £6.36. Whoops. 13th was our third no spend day. 14th I bought diesel for £52 and I spent £3.45 on my PR pack at Planaface. On the 15th we had friends over and we paid for dinner out, which was £101.06. The 16th was our fourth no spend day. 17th we paid our phone and internet bill for £31.33 and bought groceries for £17.85. We then went back to the grocery shop and just bought some snacks for £13.69 the next day. Then on the 19th our Mind and YouTube Premium subscriptions came out. So Mind is a charity donation, and we got Macca's again for £4.87. And then I bought new phone cases and new phone screen protectors for £13.95. 20th was our fifth no spend day. So she bought some bits for the house at B&M for £13.87, like cleaning stuff and stuff like that. Bought new budget kits for £15, and I spent £29.50 at Colourful & Co. And then we bought lots of meatball sauce for £17.50. IKEA meatball sauce, we bought it on Amazon. Yeah. Then on the 23rd, I spent £29.55 at Stick with a Planco, and we spent another £34 on groceries. Do you see why our groceries were so bad this month? We just kept going, and I don't even know why. On the 24th, my phone bill came out for £20.28. So should I imagine, bought petrol for £62, and we booked our holiday, which was £560. That's really coming out of savings, so I've just put in other because I didn't want to not mark it, but yeah. The 26th was our 6th no spend day. The 27th, my Plan of Face sub came out for £18.30. That's gone back up because I'm back to premium removable mat, and I'm on premium mat subscription. 28th was our 7th no spend day. 29th, we went to a food festival and spent £30.50. And board thing. Oh, we bought some things to neaten up our pantry with the gas fizzy CO2 stuff. And the 30th was our 8th no spend day. Then on to June, you obviously haven't seen me sort of this yet. On the 31st, we bought our big grocery shop for the next month, which was £142.36. So that's how May looked there. So this was bad. It was a bad month in terms of going out of budget. So utilities, we went £12.62 over, which was just our bad maths. That's corrected this month. Direct debits, we budgeted £63.79 and spent £74.23, £50.25. Again, I think we forgot something, so that was 46p off. House, we budgeted £260 and we spent £370, so we were over by £110.87. Travel, we budgeted £220 and we spent £235, so it was £15 over. Going out, we budgeted £200, we spent £161.95, so we were £38.05 so we did good in going out. Groceries, we budgeted £461 and we spent £602.88. I am embarrassed by that number, like really embarrassed by that number. But it is what it is. We did buy like all the dry ingredients for 2 months in that, but still, that's not good. Socials Fund money, he had £158, he spent essentially £70, so he's got £88.63 remaining. I had £390, I spent £70 and 50p, and I have £319 left. Other, we spent £275, so we were over by £250, and Thinking Funds we only spent £155.80, which is broken down there, which was basically headspace, new car battery and a gift. So yeah, we did still manage to put £2,200 into savings, so I'm going to take that as a win. So that is how it may turned out. I'm not happy with how much we spent this month. I'm a bit embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed about the grocery number, but fine. Anyway, yeah, that's May. So now we've got all that sorted, let's actually get to setting up June. If you watched my last budget video, you know I'm no longer actually using this page for anything, but I do still want to mark in the days not in the month with some washi, just to make it look a bit cuter. If I ever want to like refer to the date or anything, it's here. I'm not going to use it for anything. I used to track my bills and stuff in here, but to be honest, my bills aren't on regular dates and they're all direct debits, so I don't actually need to keep a track of them particularly. So that is what it is. That's all we do on that page, is just cover up the days not in the month. On to this page. So here I like to put my actual budget. And again, why do I have to check every single time? I'm pretty sure, no, I'm wrong, so that's why. So how we do this is we grab the monthly budget tracker. I'm actually gonna, this is one of the plant with me is that I try, I'm gonna zoom in a bit more actually. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place today, sorry. So just so you can see a bit closer, put in the monthly budget header and then the income header, and that should take us down to that first line. I then leave 3 gaps for my main income, Socia's main income, and then any other income that we might get, and pop in the total income header. Then I pop in the expenses one, and then hopefully again this lines up nicely, which it normally does. Yep, there we go. And so 2 of these bars take up 3 lines in this plan, I think. And then we leave 10 spaces for our budget categories, and pop in at the bottom of that the total expenses little header thing. Try and get it down straight is always a good plan. Then I like to pop in a strip of washi. I'm going to use this purple one just because purple is my favourite colour. Well, purple and blue. And then we put in our savings. So we have 3 savings categories that we are tracking. So normally this fits quite nicely. We put that in there. Leave 3 gaps. And then pop in the total savings. I have a tiny gap at the bottom. So I'm actually going to pop in a glitter strip right at the bottom. Just because I like the page to feel full. And then still put this in over that. There. So that's the first page. Sorry if that was a little bit off camera. So then on the sinking funds page, I'm pretty sure on the sinking funds page I top and tail, yes, with washi. How I haven't learnt this yet is beyond me. But anyway, so we put a strip of washi up at the top and down at the bottom. And then this is where things get a bit more confusing, because what we do next is we put in strip of washi at the bottom and the top as well of this washi. So just pop that in there. And I'm pulling in the same colour just because that's what I feel like doing. There and there. Is this right? Is this what I do? Is this what I do? Oh, why is this wrong? I'm going to check again whether this is whether this is right. I'm getting like the distinct feeling it is not. I don't know why I can never remember how I do these things, but I can't. It's just not in my head. Yeah, it's... Then basically what we want to do is cover up. So we need to leave 13 spaces is basically the aim. So we cover up this a tiny bit. The spacing of this is so hard. Why? So I put down this category header so that it's at the top of a line. Yeah, that's about right. Just check it's roughly right in the right place. To be fair, it's pretty stuck there now, so it's going there. And then above it we just put in the sinking funds title. There. And then we count 13 gaps. I believe I have sinking funds, but let me check. Glad I checked because it's 16. And then I basically count 16 spaces and pop in the totals bar, covering up the glitter header a little bit in the right gap. And that's it for this page. So we just need to cut off those bits of washi as well. Sometimes I use a craft knife, sometimes I don't. Today my craft knife is right here, so I'm going to use it. Also, I didn't leave them very long, so it's quite a lot harder just to tear. Not sure that one actually cut very well, but we will see in a second when I try and pull it off. This is a problem with this, is like if you cut it and then you didn't cut it very well, it makes life hard. Oh, why washi? Because then you've got like a line where you did cut, but sometimes then it just pulls like that. Oh, that actually cut better than I expected it to have. Cool. So that's the sinking funds page. Next we're on to the the weekly check-ins. And this page I remember I have 0 space in. So we pop in the weekly check-in banner at the top, followed by the first of the category headers. So yeah, if you're using this planner for this purpose, this is how things fit. It works really well with 10 categories. That's how I work, at least. So then I just count 10 categories multiple times. And then I find the right box that it wants to go over. I just put it over one box. So my bottom and top line is a bit smaller than the others, but I just make that work for me. Like that. And then we just have to do the other page as well. So basically find the right point, put the category sticker over the correct line, and that's it. And that's all I do for my weekly tracker setup. I will come back in and write the categories in shortly, but yeah, that's that bit. Let's also set up my transaction log, which again we do a strip of washi at the bottom of the top. This is actually for business transactions, because that's, you know, what I need to track transaction wise. Otherwise my weeklies are my transaction logs really. So this is just any business transactions that I spend on my personal card. So anything business on my business card doesn't go in here. It's just on my you know, personal card for my business, so I remember to pay myself back. Because if it's in my business card, I can just look at my business bank account to work out and find the things. So this way, when I do my bookkeeping, it's just much quicker. Again, I just put the headers in. This setup is dead simple, and sometimes I do it and I'm like, do I really need to talk you through what I'm doing? Maybe I should just voice over these with some financial chat, but then, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what format you want for these videos. They're not my most popular videos in the world, but I really like doing them, and they're pretty, like, they get good interaction still, so I'm going to carry on doing them, and I like doing them, and I like sharing the gorgeous Colourful and Co kits, so yeah, it works. There we go. So that's our transaction log. So we've got transaction log, let's zoom out a tiny bit. We've got transaction log, June monthly, which obviously doesn't have anything in, monthly budget and sinking funds, and then the weekly check-in pages. So the last bits of setup we do are these weekly pages, and that's where the other 4 washies come in. So I just bob, I know I tell you what I do in a voiceover style in this every single week, every single month, but I don't know, I feel like it's useful for you to know what I'm doing. So this is where I actually track my transactions. In the boxes, basically any money spent that day goes in that box, and we just, you know, what's the word? What is the word I am looking for? We track our spending. Anything that is spent that day from any of our bank accounts or credit cards goes in that day, just to keep a track of it. So just to make these pages more interesting and more visually appealing, I just like to use a full box in the sidebar, because there's nothing I track in the sidebar except the habit tracker, which is, the habit tracker is literally for days that we do a no spend, but it's not like a typical no spend, it's like we have spent no unnecessary money. So like things like bills are necessary. I don't count groceries in it, I don't know why, that's just how I do it. Other people do it differently, that's how I work, it's fine, it works for us. Different people do different things in regards to that. We don't count business spending, I don't know why, sorry, we don't count groceries as not spending generally, because we tend to buy something that isn't needed in our groceries, so that's how we do it. But so basically it's bills, direct debits count. If we haven't gone and actually that's a better way to explain it, if we haven't gone and spent money, so if we haven't actually hit purchase on something, it goes in there. That's the best way to explain it, I think. So yeah, what I do just to make these pages a bit prettier is I put a strip of washi down at the bottom, and a full box in the sidebar to make them more visually appealing and just make it more likely that I actually check in with my planner. And it works because I do check in with it most days. Sometimes when I'm on nights and stuff and Soch isn't, Soch's on days and we barely see each other, I'm not very good at checking in regularly, but that's more because I'm like, there's no point in like half checking in, because I'm just going to have to go back and check what he spent as well, because he has, so we both have credit card, but we both have cards, so we both have a credit account, but we both have a card for the other person's credit account. If possible, we use my credit account, so it's an Amex, which we get points for because the rewards are better than his credit card, but not everywhere takes American Express, so yeah. Anyhow, that's all of the weeks done. I actually talked through the entire thing, which is unusual. So we've got that week of there, that week there, that week there, and that week there. And that's everything for the setup other than writing everything in. So I am now going to speed up and write everything in. Okay, good. So whilst I'm writing everything in, I just want to talk a little bit about how we came up with our fully funded emergency fund number and what that is. So a fully funded emergency fund is 3 to 6 months expenses, which is basically designed to deal with any crisis or loss of income or emergency that you have without having to go back into debt. It's part of Dave Ramsey's plan. We are semi-Dave Ramsey-ish in that we are following the plan, but we aren't like super gazelle intensity, etc. And we bought a house in the wrong baby step sort of thing. But oh well, it's fine. So we came up with our fully funded emergency fund in 2 ways. So we first looked at our bare minimum. If we cut everything back and just lived on with like no very minimal fund money and stuff like that, without eating out on a basic grocery budget, how much would that be for 6 months? And we also looked at our normal budget over 3 months, and then we took the bigger of those numbers. We talked about averaging them, and then we were like, actually, let's just put the bigger number. It's going to sit in savings, it's going to earn interest, it'll be fine, just sitting in a bank account. I will, at some point, I will talk through like how we get to the numbers that you see here, because actually in each of those categories we have some of them we have other like breakdowns of categories, so maybe I'll go through that in next month's video. Let me know if that's something you want to hear me talk about. But yeah, that's sort of how we came up with our fully funded emergency fund number, and let me just check exactly how much we are going for. We're also obviously saving for our wedding, we do have a budget for that as well, and then we're always trying to save for one other thing at the moment as well. So our fully funded emergency fund is 13 grand for us. That'll probably change when we have a kid and we'll increase that, but for now, for the 2 of us, 13 grand is what we are aiming for. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how our budget has differed from last month. So we've increased our utilities slightly because we realised we were missing something off, or something was in the wrong amount. Same with direct debit, we were missing something, so that's gone up. Though actually I've cancelled one of my Patreon subscriptions and reduced another one, so that has actually gone down, but I did that after we set the budget, but that's fine. House we increased because we went so badly over, and we are like just buying things for gardening and stuff, just little bits that we need, so we increased that. Travel we kept the same because we were just within range, and we've both recently got petrol, so made sense. Going out we've increased because we are going away for a few days this month and we want to be able to eat out whilst we're away without worrying. Groceries we've left at £300, which is our normal grocery budget, and hopefully that will be fine this month. Social's fund money, he's got £190, which is £100 plus the £20 extra he gets because of my direct debits and his rollover. I have £420, which is £100 plus my rollover, and other we've budgeted for £25. Sinking funds, we put the same amounts in as normal, so I'm not going to run through those. So yeah, that's about it for our budget. So yeah. Okay, doke. So that is everything. So we've got transaction log there, we've got June cover page, we've got the monthly, which I think I'm just going to not have in my next year planner. Then we've got monthly budget, so I'll have run through what we budgeted this month and why it's changed in the voiceover. Or I have. Then sinking funds, savings tracker there. Oh, I didn't fill in my savings tracker. Oh, I'll add it in a minute. Weekly check-ins page. Then we have week 1, which has obviously changed a little bit. I've added some stuff. Week 2, week 3, and week 4 of June. And that is pretty much it for this video. Comment, like down below if you enjoyed it. As I said in my last video, give me some topics to talk about while I'm writing everything in and stuff, because I'd love to talk about what you guys want to hear about rather than just whatever I think about in the moment. Comment, like down below if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!